Imagine, if you will, a world without the Olsen Twins. It almost happened. And how much can a movie be controlled by one lone Stallone? Here are a few actor conflicts that changed movie and TV history. Richard Gere was the first actor cast as Chico in The Lords of Flatbush, but he was replaced by Perry King after tension on set led to Sylvester Stallone giving the director an ultimatum. Either Gere went or he did. Stallone had more clout with the director than Gere, who was fired from the movie. The Hollywood feud was born. In 2006, Stallone told Ain't It Cool Gere would strut around in his oversized motorcycle jacket like he was the baddest knight at the round table. One day during an improv, he grabbed me and got a little carried away. I told him in a gentle fashion to lighten up, but he was completely in character and impossible to deal with. Stallone added that an incident involving Gere's messy eating habits in the back of a Toyota was the last straw. The director was asked to choose one of the two stars, and Gere was out. Stallone added, "He even thinks I'm the individual responsible for the gerbil rumor." Gere has never talked about being fired from the movie, but he has addressed the rumor, telling Metro that no, he's never had a small rodent inside his body. Sylvester Stallone was again calling the shots when he fired Bruce Willis from the Expendables franchise before the third movie in the series was made. Stallone took to the internet to announce that Willis wouldn't be in the third film in the series, writing, "Willis out, Harrison Ford in. Great news. Been waiting years for this." Stallone didn't leave it there. He made it personal when he further disparaged Willis in another tweet, calling the action star greedy and lazy, a sure formula for career failure. A salary dispute with Willis allegedly requesting $4 million for 4 days of work after being offered $3 million led to Willis being fired and was replaced just a few days later by Harrison Ford. Since Willis's aphasia diagnosis and retirement, Stallone's attitude towards his old friend has softened considerably. He told The Hollywood Reporter, "Bruce is going through some really difficult times, so he's been sort of incommunicado. That kills me. It's so sad." John Stamos tried and succeeded, albeit temporarily, in getting twins Mary-Kate and Ashley Olsen fired from Full House before America ever saw the series and fell in love with them as Michelle Tanner. In 2023, Stamos recalled on Josh Peck's Good Guys podcast that while filming the pilot, the 11-month-old twins cried a lot, saying,
"They wanted to be anywhere else but there, and so did I. I couldn't deal with it. And I said, this is not going to work, guys."
The twins were out, but this wasn't a revelation. In 2015, Stamos told critics at the Television Critics Association's press tour in Beverly Hills they brought in a couple of unattractive red-headed kids. "We tried that for a while and that didn't work." And with that, the Olsen twins return. The rest is TV history. Full House became a sappy 80s and 90s television staple, with enough staying power and generational nostalgia to warrant a reboot on Netflix. Sean Young was originally cast as Tess Trueheart in Disney's Dick Tracy, but she was fired by Warren Beatty after only 1 week of shooting. Young paints a lurid tale about Beatty making unwanted advances on the set, but Beatty denies her claims. Jeffrey Katzenberg, former chairman of Walt Disney Studios, told the Los Angeles Times, "It was not a decision made unilaterally by Beatty. He sought our input. Sometimes a person isn't perfectly suited to a role." Still, rumors about Beatty's prolific sexual exploits during production are in line with Young's claims. Young told the Los Angeles Times, "It was a very unpleasant experience. It was just a lot of sexual politics and crazy stuff. To be released from that situation ended up being a blessing in the end, because I don't think I could have survived working with Warren Beatty." Young believes her acting career and reputation were destroyed by a small group of influential actors and directors who essentially blacklisted her and branded her difficult. Young later elaborated to the Daily Beast, "It's not just Warren, it's across the board. Ever since the movie business began, women have been treated as a commodity. There was always someone grabbing you, and I just ignored it." The Cosby Show made Lisa Bonet famous, but Bill Cosby and Bonet reportedly clashed so much on the set that Bonet got her own spin-off series, A Different World, set at the fictional Hillman College. Although Bonet starred in the racy film Angel Heart with Mickey Rourke and posed topless for Interview magazine, getting married to rock star Lenny Kravitz and getting pregnant with her first child at 20 was apparently the final straw for Cosby. Cosby thought Denise Huxtable getting pregnant would tarnish the image of the Huxtable family. Producer-director Debbie Allen wanted to write the pregnancy into the series, but Cosby nixed it. Allen recalled Cosby's stance to the Television Academy Foundation. "Denise Huxtable is not pregnant. Lisa Bonet is pregnant." Bonet's character dropped out of college and was written out of A Different World after the first season. After her pregnancy, Bonet temporarily returned to The Cosby Show. Denise was now married to a military man with a young daughter, but in 1991, Denise was written out of The Cosby Show again because of ongoing tensions with Cosby. Cosby said he fired Bonet for outgrowing the material, but Lenny Kravitz Willis expressed a different opinion in his memoir, Let Love Rule, writing, "Lisa's relationship with Bill was tense and eventually untenable." Shannen Doherty notoriously developed a difficult reputation on the set of Beverly Hills 90210. In 2023, she opened up on her podcast, Let's Be Clear, about how struggles in her personal life affected her behavior on the set. The behind-the-scenes drama on 90210, often between Doherty and Jenny Garth, was reportedly disruptive to the set. Garth wrote about an argument that turned physical in her memoir, Deep Thoughts from a Hollywood Blonde, explaining how their on-set argument was taken outside. Before we could kill each other, Luke Perry and Jason Priestley dived into the middle of it and pulled us apart. It was ridiculous. After this incident, Spelling went to her father, executive producer Aaron Spelling, and their conversation ultimately led to Doherty being fired. On the Lifetime special Tori Spelling, Celebrity Lie Detector, Spelling talked about getting Doherty fired. "I felt like I was a part of something, a movement that cost someone their livelihood. Was she a horrible person? No. She was one of the best friends I ever had." Years after her departure from Beverly Hills, Doherty was still feeling weird about the situation, revealing on her podcast, "I was very trepidatious of working with Aaron Spelling again and getting involved, because they burned me really badly on 90210. Despite her fears, Doherty joined the cast of Charmed, becoming one-third of a powerful trio of sisters exploring their witch powers after their mother's unexpected death. For years, Doherty claimed she left the show willingly after the third season, but she recently revealed on her podcast that she was encouraged to lean into that story to protect her career. Doherty believes Alyssa Milano was responsible for Doherty being fired from the series. Doherty's Charmed co-star Holly Mary Combs backed up Doherty's claims, recalling that a producer, Jonathan Levin, said, "We were told that it's her or me. Alyssa has threatened to sue us for a hostile workplace environment."
Go away and leave my sight.
When Milano addressed these accusations on a MegaCon panel, she didn't confirm or deny Doherty's claims, saying, "I want to be very thoughtful in how I respond to any of this, and I would just say that I'm sad." Milano followed up her statement on Instagram, writing something more definitive. The studio, Aaron Spelling, and network made the decision to protect the international hit that was Charmed. I did not have the power to get anyone fired. Looks like these former co-stars will have to agree to disagree. The characters in Seinfeld were a tight-knit foursome who didn't accept others into their inner circle easily, and the actors who played them weren't very different. Considering how much time actors spend with their co-stars during the production of a television series, you can't really blame them for having strong opinions on outsiders. Heidi Swedberg's character Susan, fiancée to George in Season 7, was killed off because everyone found her acting style difficult to work with. During an interview with Howard Stern, Jason Alexander let it slip that Larry David wrote Susan out of the series because of an offhand comment.
And Julia actually said, "I know, it's just, don't you want to just kill her?" And Larry went, "Kabang!"
Lawrence Tierney, who played Elaine's father in one episode, was originally intended to have a small recurring role, but didn't return after freaking the entire cast out with his antics while filming The Jacket. In a behind-the-scenes look at the episode, the cast shared a story about Tierney stealing a knife from the set and brandishing it, while making psycho sound effects. When Seinfeld confronted him, Alexander recalls,
Lawrence Tierney, I think, scared the living crap out of all of us.
Everyone who loves 90s movies recognizes Stacey Dash as Dion, Cher's best friend in Clueless, or from VH1's Single Ladies. But after just one season of that show, Dash announced her exit, saying in a statement, "I truly enjoyed playing Val on Single Ladies, but I have decided to leave the show. I have to be back in LA with my children right now, and the Single Ladies shooting location makes that impossible." When Dash announced her exit from the Atlanta-based series, people wondered what happened behind the scenes. In a Jet cover story, co-star LisaRaye McCoy admitted, "Yes, there was a disagreement over a scene, and it really wasn't with me. It was with the director. I think it was about 2 or 3 a.m., and we'd been shooting all damn day." Stacey tried to argue with the director about a line. In a promo video for the TV series Being, McCoy admitted that their altercation led to Dash being fired from the series. She amended her earlier statement in 2023, telling Atlanta Black Star, "I don't have that much power. That was the network's decision." Alec Baldwin and Shia LaBeouf were set to co-star in a play called Orphans, which would have been LaBeouf's Broadway debut. Baldwin wrote in New York Magazine, "I loved Lyle Kessler's play and was anxious to work with director Dan Sullivan. Then Shia LaBeouf showed up. I'd heard from other people that he was potentially very difficult to work with, but I always ignore that because people say the same thing about me." Baldwin found the rumors to be true and wrote that the friction was immediate. Weeks into rehearsals, LaBeouf was axed, with the producers citing creative differences. In his essay, say Baldwin revealed that an argument during rehearsal led to him telling the director that one of them had to go. LaBeouf was fired from the production and took to Twitter to share emails between himself, Sullivan, and Baldwin. He later told David Letterman that both him and Baldwin were very passionate, impulsive actors.
I think, that impulsiveness and that passion makes for, some fireworks.
LaBeouf later admitted that being fired was heartbreaking, telling Interview magazine, "Baldwin and I butted heads hard. I was so desperate to be good in that play that I overdid it. It became competitive in the wrong way." LaBeouf added that he and Baldwin have since made peace. Charlie Sheen reportedly fired his anger management co-star Selma Blair after she questioned his work ethic. Lionsgate confirmed the departure, and after the news spread, Blair thanked fans for their love and support. Prior to her firing, Sheen apparently went to the mat for Blair to be cast in the series and said nice things about her in the media, which made the rift surprising. Sheen later claimed that writing Blair's character out of the series was a creative decision, telling The Tonight Show that the audience found his character boring. But Blair's departure set him up for success. According to him, her character leaves and I start circling the drain. So it's really fun to watch and hella fun to play. At the time, Blair was suffering from physical pain and other symptoms of multiple sclerosis, which she wouldn't be diagnosed with until 2018. She told Glamour, "I was forcing myself on a plane and I was getting vertigo. I would wake up and I couldn't move. It was a very hard time in my life."